Hey guys, how's it going? Once again, this is Ewan Henry with Tech in My Life. So if this is your first time here, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Okay guys, so if you're like me, just a little while ago, you picked up the new Insta360 X4 and you're out there and you're capturing those awesome moments. You're making your own epic life stories. But if you're new and you just got in the game with the 360 deal, you probably haven't picked up a bunch of accessories to make those videos go to the next level. So what I'm going to do today is share some of my most favorite accessories that help me capture really incredible moments and save some of those stories with me and my family while we're out on vacation, or with me and my cycling or my skiing, or what other adventures I get myself into. So we're going to get into it right now. All right, guys, so let's get into this. So what I got here is a bunch of accessories. I'm going to break them down into like 3 categories. The categories are going to be poles and extensions, mounts, and doohickeys and doodads. And by doohickeys and doodads, I mean those little tiny things that you probably didn't think you need, that you probably didn't think would help that much. But I find some of the little doodads and doohickeys really help transform my video capturing to another level. Okay, so let's get into it. So what I have here is some of the gadgets and doodads and poles and selfie sticks that I use to capture some of my videos. Now, I'm going to start off with this item here. So this clamp, I use it a lot. Clamp onto poles, clamp onto bike parts. Now this is really useful because it's spring loaded, and you can put the spring down, turn it really quickly, and you get a good clamp. And you can really cinch this down. It's heavy duty, it's all aluminum, and you really get to cinch it down and make a really tight clamp. But you get a bonus. On the twist is actually 1/4-20 threads, so you can actually use 1/4-20 to screw and attach selfie sticks and other items to this also. So you get the clamp to clamp onto things. You get a 1/4-20 here, you get 1/4-20s here. So you just have a whole lot of mounting points with this. So it comes in really useful. For example, say I clamp this onto my seat post, I can get to use my Insta360 at the end of this that way. So like I said, this has several mounting points that just makes it really useful out there. Okay, now from that I have, this is by PGYTECH. Now, I tried using this on my bike handlebar, and to be honest with you, with the round handlebars, I don't have too much of an issue, but with my aero style handlebars, I can't use this. But what this works really good for is skiing. So I've actually attached this to the ski pole and this end to either a selfie stick. I can attach it directly to my Insta360 X4, or like I said, more convenient is to attach it to a selfie stick and then to the ski pole, and I get some really cool footage that way. Now, since then, I was using this last season. Since then, Insta360 has come out with a ski pole mount, and I've already ordered it. I just haven't gotten it yet. But this you can use if you don't have the ski pole mount, and if you've already got this sitting around. Bonus, you get to use this on like I said, bike handlebars, anything that you can clamp this to. And it also has a rubber grommet on the inside. So you can either use the rubber grommet for smaller poles, or you can take the rubber grommet out. Now this is very useful. Now a bunch of the things here I have is by PGYTECH. I really like their stuff. They really make very, very good quality stuff. It's usually heavy duty, very sturdy. And I haven't really had anything really fail on me. But one cool thing about all of these, because I have 3 different one of these that I'm going to show you, is the ball head itself. It's like a silicone material. So when you clamp down on this, it's so sturdy. You get very little drift. Now, I will admit, you do get some drift, but it's very, very minute. So, like I said, for me, bicycle, clamping any poles or small objects, and mount either to a selfie stick or directly to the Insta360. So I'll set that off to the side for a second. Now, something very close to that along the same lines, pretty much the same thing. The only difference is this one has a magnetic base. So what I use this for a lot is just to sit on the car. If I'm driving slowly, right, I wouldn't do this like over 10, 15 miles an hour. Let's say I'm driving through a national park and I want to sit this on the hood or somewhere on the car that I know is magnetic, because a lot of places, keep in mind, depending on where you put this on a car, it might not be magnetic. Make sure it's magnetic and you're good to go. So this is a GoPro mount, but what I like about this, you can undo it and pop the ball head off and replace it with a 1/4 20. From here, you can just pop this off and put this on there. They're all interchangeable. So that comes in very handy. Now, this is very, very useful because, again, you have a 1/4 20 at the top, and at the bottom, you have this suction cup. It's a little tacky. That's tacky as in sticky, not tacky as in the way it looks. I actually think it looks pretty good. But once you clamp this down, the suction cup works very, very good. I tend to leave mine up so that there's no pressure pushing the suction cup out. So as a good idea, I think if you're going to leave these sitting around, don't leave it compressed where the suction cup is actually being spread out. So like I said, 1/4 20 at the top, suction cup at the bottom. And again, these are all interchangeable. So there's actually different ends, ball heads that I can change at the top here. Again, another PGYTECH product. And I'm going to try to put links to everything I have in the description down below. But guys, we got quite a few things here. So if I miss anything, absolutely, leave comments in the comment section to let me know if I missed anything. So next I have one of my, so these are all things I use a lot. So if I say one of my favorites more than once, it's because it's just something that really, really works well for me. Now, this is another PGYTECH product. This is a neck mount, right? So this is all types of cool. First, it's easy to put on because I don't have to be looking. I tried a different one. I can't remember the name of it, but it worked well, but I had to look to clamp it. This one, I don't have to look. I can do it, without looking, but it gets better, all right? So now this part at the bottom here is my own little contraption. So there's a little release button. Let's see if we can get that. At the bottom here, you push to take this off, right? So once this is off, now this here is actually a next item. Okay, guys, this is the next item. This is my snap mount. And this is magnetic, okay? It's magnetic and a little twist, and this locks on. But again, I'm gonna touch on this in a little while. Bar none. Now, I've said my favorite of all of the things I say here, right? If I say this is my favorite, ignore that, because this is my favorite right here. because if anything else I say is my favorite, just ignore that and know that this product here that I'm going to touch on at the end is my absolute favorite. But snap mount. So, okay, I'm twisting the wrong way. Sorry. There. So you have a couple different pieces with the snap mount. Now, this is the base. This is the mount. You put it together and twist. Now, the reason you put this particular one together and twist is because it has these tabs, and these tabs are for just extra security. If you're going to be doing something with a lot of movement, snowboarding, doing some motocross, doing some mountain biking, you're going to want the tabs. Now, here's how I've managed to make this and this the best chesty in the world. Guys, trust me, best chesty ever. This goes on, and this has a strap like here, okay? So boom, you with me so far? All right. Now I just take this and that's it. But here's where I think for me, it works really well. I can take this and put this under my shirt and you'll never know I have on this snap mount and this PGYTECH neck mount. It disappears. I don't feel like going through the whole hassle of lifting my shirt up and putting it on, but once it's on under there, you don't even know because this part here comes with other pieces, right? So I can take it off and put on this flat mount. Oops, sorry. I can put on this flat part and it'll slap right together just like that. And it can be under my shirt because let's say I don't want to use the PGYTECH neck mount. Oh, by the way, guys, this PGYTECH neck mount, this is actually a silicone moldable material. I don't know what it's made of. I don't know if it's rubber or whatever, but it's covered in silicone and it's extremely malleable, so you can actually mold it into whatever form that's comfortable on your neck. These straps, these are all removable. It's just Velcroed on. So I can use this without the straps. When I'm riding, I tend to use it with the straps because when I mount the X4 on here, it's, you know, it's a little bit more weight. So the weight helps to stabilize it, but the weight can also give you some movement because it can bounce around. But when I strap the chest strap on, it doesn't bounce around. It's not too restrictive. I can conceal it very well. One of my most used items, okay? Now, what I do with the neck mount is I get, my next item here. So this is the horizontal mount for the Insta360 X4. I could take the horizontal mount, right, with the PGYTECH adapter. I can take this off of here, add this to here, and add my X4, and I can put it in, I can keep it in 360 mode, but you know, one side is going to be my chest, the other side is going to be whatever is in front of me. But I can also put it into single lens mode and use it as a traditional action cam, okay? So there's that way to use this. Again, what I try to do is buy items rather, that really comes in handy in my use case. Your use case might vary, but I think that a lot of the things that I see here could come in handy for almost anyone with the X4. Now, this is a GoPro floaty, okay, with a lanyard. And you can go buy different floaties. I've had this one. If I'm at the pool, this I'm gonna have, right? Because If I drop the X4 in the pool, it's waterproof. I can dive down and get it, but I don't want to have to go through that. I don't want to have to go through looking for it. So I keep it on a floaty. If it pops out of my hand somehow, you know, it's going to float. If I'm in the ocean, I'm definitely going to have the floaty. And hopefully it doesn't pop off my wrist. But definitely you got to have this if you're in the pool or in the ocean or anywhere near water. Now, this, if I'm traveling and I'm trying to travel light, I'm taking this out. This is by PGYTECH again. Guys, a lot of this stuff here is by PGYTECH. PGYTECH. The whole thing I went through with those, all PGYTECH. So this is their Mantis, I think it's called their Mantis, what is this? Yeah, MantisPod. This thing transforms in all different types of ways, right? So at its most basic use case, it's a tripod with a little ball head at the top. Okay, boom. You got a table or somewhere, you sit it down and you're good. It's a tripod, but wait, there's more. Because of this little tab here, you can actually hook it onto different items. And now you have something where if you're near a fence or a gate, you can hook it onto that and you can get footage while you're out walking. You don't, and it's up higher, so you get that higher perspective rather than sitting it on the ground or the floor. And let's say you just want it on the table, but you want a little bit more height. It can extend again, okay? Now, this is why I take this with me when I'm traveling as opposed to other selfie sticks and so on. So this can also be a selfie stick, okay? It's not the longest, but it can be used as a selfie stick. And what I like about it, once it's straight, right, and I have my Insta360, it's gonna be hidden in that stitch line. So I'm good to go with this, right? Instead of taking the traditional invisible selfie stick, I can get away with taking just one item because, you know, you're trying to travel light. You don't want to pack every single item into your backpack. You want to travel light. You don't want stuff to weigh you down. You know, this is the way to go when you're looking to travel light. On to this item. So this is by Insta360. Okay, this is their invisible selfie stick, and this is the bullet cam mount. Now these two, when I bought my Insta360 One RS, these two came in the kit. So the way this works is you attach the invisible selfie stick to this. There's a locking mechanism right here. Let me see if I can unlock it. There we go. Unlock it. And this spins around and you can do bullet time with this because that's what this is. This is the bullet time attachment. Okay. Now, since it has a 1/4-20 here and here, you can attach it here and you get a little bit more length or a handle for your selfie stick. But this part at the bottom is actually a tripod. Now, I don't use this very much because this tripod, if you want to call it a tripod, I mean, I guess it's a tripod because it's 3 legs, but this thing, I wouldn't trust it anywhere. Maybe on a table right next to me, but even there, it is not very stable. I would not use it. Let me see. On a table, yeah, maybe. If I'm gonna sit this on the ground and extend the selfie stick, I wouldn't use this little tiny tripod. It's gonna definitely tip over because you're gonna start wobbling at the top and it's just not, the base isn't wide enough. It's not gonna be stable enough. This, don't use it as a tripod. All right. And then again, you know, selfie stick, invisible selfie stick. Okay, now the granddaddy of all invisible selfie sticks is the 3-meter long selfie stick. Now guys, this thing is carbon fiber, it's sturdy. I've had it again for a couple years. It still works really good. And here's a little bonus trick when it comes to selfie sticks. You don't want to extend the selfie stick all the way, because a couple things will happen. When it gets to the very end, you're going to get more action out of the selfie stick when it's extended all the way. There's going to be more wiggle when it's extended all the way. If you leave a portion inside the tube of each extension, it actually stays more sturdy. Now, why would you want it more sturdy, you say? Because what happens is when this is extended all the way, especially with the 360 camera, it's going to bend. And when it bends, it's going to be outside of that stitch line. And then you're just going to ruin the invisible selfie stick effect. So, you know, again, pro tip, don't extend it all the way. Now you can, and you know, sometimes it's fine, but you do run the risk of having the selfie stick bend and then, like I said, go out of the stitch line and ruin the stitch effect. So whenever I'm using this and this, I'm using them together on a car. Now, what I've done with this, people call this a suction cup. These are more like vacuum sealed. These things work so well. And here's how you can think of how reliable these are. If you ever see some guys move glass, like really heavy glass, what they're using is the same technology. They're using vacuum cups sucked onto glass. And when you see them putting in these windows, double, triple pane windows in like high-rise building, if they're not using a crane or something like that to lift it, if they're doing it by hand, they're using an apparatus with vacuum cups. So the technology has been around for a while, very reliable, but I digress. So when I'm using this, I try to mount the selfie stick directly on to the device, right? So I actually have a quarter, let me see, get that, can I get that focused there? Come on. Okay, there you go. I have a selfie quarter turn attached directly onto the mount, and then I'll mount the selfie stick onto this. Now, if I'm gonna extend it a lot, I'll, believe it or not, use this, okay? I'll attach this to this and use this clamp on the selfie stick to steady the selfie stick. Okay, so now I have 2 points. I'll suction this to the car, I'll suction this to the car, and I'll clamp this to the selfie stick. So I have 2 points, and if I am lined up good, this is usually hidden behind the selfie stick, so you don't really get to see it. Now, if it's on like the hood of the car, yeah, you're gonna see it. If it's on the rear glass that's dark, you'll see it, but it's like not really noticeable. It's kind of subdued, it's subtle. So I use these two together. It just stuck to the table. I just use these two together when I'm attaching the selfie sticks, or even again directly. I can use this because it has, again, a quarter turn and a magic arm here. So I can attach the Insta360 directly to this and attach it to the car. Now, this is pretty cool when it's on the hood, it's up a little bit high enough, separated from the car, and what happens is you don't get that ugly stitch effect when items are too close. It's just a little bit far enough away. It's on the hood of the car. And again, let's say, imagine you're driving through just a really scenic place, or you're on vacation and you have your little 3-wheeler scooter doohickey and you suction this to the front of it. You get to get, you know, everything around you, and you reframe it later and you make your awesome vacation video. Boom, there you go. the other two items here, next two, go together sort of. Now, I bought this about a year ago, and this is a bicycle mount to your handlebar. When I had round handlebars, these worked just fine. You get your mount for your cycle computer. There's an attachment here that you can attach another item to the bottom, so you can actually attach a light to the bottom. You can attach another action camera to the bottom right here. This clamps, these here clamp on to the handlebar. Let me see, am I in focus there? These clamp onto the handlebar and boom, you're good, right? Well, when you get smart, sarcasm, and you get your fancy Aero handlebars, this doesn't work. It comes in really handy with round handlebars and a selfie stick. Like I can attach the selfie stick right here. And it's just really, really nice to get that out front footage. And this is what I've used. And I've looked for a solution for Aero handlebars for a long time. And I kind of was able to rig something, but it wasn't very stable. But as soon as I rigged and I got something working on my bike, Insta360 came out with this. And this is the bike handlebar mount, top cap mount rather. So this actually, you take the top cap off of your headset, you screw this into it. There's another piece that's currently on my bicycle right now. And then you just use this knob on the side here to cinch down. You can attach the Insta360 directly onto this. And in my case, I used, again, I'm gonna tackle this little item in a little bit, but again, my favorite thing. We're gonna get to that in a second. But that's for my bike. Now, all right guys, we're getting close to the end here. So next we have is the quick card reader. And this is by Insta360. Now, if you guys have bought a quick card reader in the past for your 1RS or your X3, now of course it's not going to be compatible with the X4. So here's my suggestion. Keep a SD card always inside of the card reader. Like I have an SD card inside the card reader. And what I do is, as soon as I take a card out of the X4, I put it into the quick card reader, and I take the card out of the quick card reader and I put it into the X4. So the X4 is always going to be prepared. Then I can take the card reader and just plug it into my mobile or plug it into my iPad, because it does have the lightning adapter here. Yep, come on, focus. It has a lightning adapter and a USB-C adapter, so I can plug it into my iPad or my mobile, in my case, a Samsung Galaxy. So if you have one, it's still usable with the X4, just not by plugging it into the side and having it read directly from the quick card reader. Now, my quick card reader did not have an additional port, so I didn't find it extremely useful plugging it into the X4, because I'd be losing a USB-C port. I wouldn't be able to attach an external audio source, which brings me to my next item, the external mic adapter. So with this mic adapter, you just plug in this jack from here. You plug this port into the, in my case, Rhodes mic adapter, Rhodes Wireless Go. I just plug it into Rhodes Wireless Go and then plug it into the X4, into the USB-C port right here. And I now am set up for external audio. And the audio on the X4 is actually excellent. I do find there's the case scenarios where the X4 is a little further away from me, thanks to this jabroni right here. I can put the X4 out 3 meters away from me, which I don't typically do, but I can put the X4 out a good distance from me, or I can sit it down on something, and if I'm using external audio, I can still get nice, clean audio. So, on to the next device, which is battery charger. Oh, hold on one second, guys. All right, sorry about that. On to my next device, which is a battery charger. It's from a company called Cynova. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I like it because it has this cool little display on it. And it tells me exactly what my battery is doing, how much charge my battery has. Like there's a battery there right now, it has 98%. I kind of put the cart before the horse. You gotta have an external battery. You gotta have an extra battery. You gotta have an extra battery and a battery charger. I'm gonna go off on a little tangent here. I don't care for the charger from Insta360. I like this one a little bit more. I didn't want 3 ports because then I feel like Insta360 is trying to convince me that I need 3 or 4 batteries. I don't need 3 or 4 batteries. Some people out there probably do. I don't. Not for this one. I made that mistake with the 1RS. I got a ton of batteries and whatever. So I only want 1 extra battery, 1 in the charger, and I keep 1 in the X4, of course. But battery charger, nice one, Cynova, Amazon again. Guys, I'm gonna put everything down in the description. Links to everything. Almost everything here I picked up from Amazon. I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you guys buy anything, if you guys use the links to purchase anything, I'm gonna get a little something. Hopefully, you know, that means that now I'm gonna be as wealthy as Jeff Bezos if you guys buy enough. Maybe not. So anyway, speaking of audio, now Insta360 also sells these little audio muffs for $9, I think. Guys, you got to get these. They're tiny. You can, I think it's like 4 that came in the pack. I can't remember, but it comes with a bunch of them. You Velcro the little Velcro sticky onto the side of the X4. You stick the little Velcro sticky on the side, and then you stick these little muffs on there. And I will say, I admit, they work very good. I think anything from like 24 miles an hour and under, you're gonna get fairly good audio. Anything above that, you're still gonna get some wind noise. But yeah, these work very good. And at one point, I actually peeled off this Velcro and stuck them back on, and it worked just fine. There's more that comes in a box, so you know, you'll still have more, but if you happen to peel them off, you can probably get a couple use out of the Velcro. So yeah, Velcro and audio muffs, must have. Next thing is protective lens cover. These are the protective lens guard, the premium lens guard, and cleaning cloth. I cannot stress this enough. Clean the lens, guys. Clean the lens. And talk to your X4, nice X4, as you're cleaning the lens. Anyway, gotta keep the lens clean. With protruding lens like this, it's super easy to get debris on them, and you know, it won't ruin a shot, but you'll notice it and you won't like it. So clean the lens. So another accessory to keep close by, lens cloth. And second to last, because I got a little treat for you guys with the next one. Second to last is the silicone lens guard. Works pretty good. Definitely keep it close by. You know, I'm incident prone, I'm butterfingered, so I'm always dropping stuff. Keep the lens guard on. Actually, I dropped this, if you look closely, right there. Can you see that? Focus, man, focus. Okay, yeah, right there. There's a little chip because I already dropped it. Now the chip is on a screen protector. I wouldn't suggest buying a screen protector because I've chipped this one. I've actually thrown out another one because it got damaged. It gets damaged very easily, but I guess it's not the screen that's getting damaged, it's the screen protector, which is the purpose of the screen protector. Whatever, rabbit hole, I digress. So guys, on to, did I cover this? Maybe I did. Invisible mic adapter for Rode Wireless Go mics. If I haven't covered it, invisible mic adapter screws onto the quarter 20 thread at the bottom of the X4, and it lets you attach your Rode Wireless Go. Okay, now my favorite. My favorite's to the point where I think I might have an addiction. These Falcam F22 mount and base plate combo. I love that they come together and they come together and they come together. Oh, there we go. I love that they come as a set. So let's take a look here at what we have. So at the bottom, or this part with the little button at the bottom here, that is the adapter, and then this is the base plate, and they kind of just go together. So why do I love these things so? Because I don't love these things. So I'm not crazy about the magnetic clip. I can't never seem to line them up as quickly as other people do. And I guess it's fine, but I don't like this because I have to buy two separate things. I have to buy the DJI base plate or mount with the GoPro ears that I absolutely don't like. And then I have to buy this base plate thingy that would screw on to the bottom of the X4. I don't like these two, okay? I do like this. Actually, I think it's a bit of a love affair. This thing works so good to the point where I have it on this. I have it on this. I have it on this. Guys, I have it on this. On this. And up there, my GoPro, my One RS, everything has it. And it makes it super quick to do this. Like, I got it on here. I can easily go from there to here. From here, oh, wrong button. From here to here. From here to here. And I mean, it works so good. Now, of course, this is the X4, but I have this base plate on all of my action cams. I have these mounts on just about everything that I use quickly, everything that I'm constantly using. I have the base plate on, so I can quickly go from one device to another. If I'm at the poolside and I'm in the water, I can take it off the floaty. You know, I can have it on here. I can go from here, push the button on the side, and go to the 1 meter long super quickly. I can't say enough about these. The tolerance between the base plate and the mount is so minuscule that there's like zero play when it's on. It slides in. You don't really have to press the button to slide it in. You can just slide it in and it's in there. Press the button to release it. And again, it's so sturdy. You know, once you screw that into any quarter 20, you cinch it down pretty good with the intention that you know you're not going to be taking it off. It works so well. Now, there's two different types of base plate. Again, here we go with the focusing. Oh, it did it quick that time. So there's two different types of base plate. This one is square, and there's another one that I currently have on here. This one is rectangular. This one slides on and pulls out just by pressing the button on the side. When you slide this one on, you don't have to press the button on the side. You don't have to do anything. It just slides right in. Now the square one, you do have to, there's only one way in right? Like if I'm trying to push it in this way, it's not going to go. So you put it in the correct way. So you just turn it around, and when the base plate is not attached to anything, the screw is going to protrude, so it's not going to slide in. But you can't, let me see if I can get that to focus on. There's a little tiny stop right there. Okay. So it has to go from the other side. So there's a slight difference in base plate. Now, when you buy the kit comes with the rectangular one, depending on the kit you buy, or you can buy the square plate separately. So because I needed more base plates than mounts, I bought some of the base plates separate. The base plates I think the base plates are like $13, and the kit is like $25, but I believe you can also buy the mount by itself for around $13. So favorite item, bar none, of all of the accessories. The one thing I would suggest everyone starting off with are these mounts. They are very, very useful. They come in very handy, very practical, very quick to mount and dismount your X4, whatever action cam you're using. But for the X4, gotta have these. Oh, look at that. So easy to just pop right out. But like I said, guys, Falcam F22 mounts, you gotta get these. Now, last but not least is kind of a twofer. It's not an accessory, but I think it's gonna help you guys. If you're editing 360 video using the Studio app, it's a good start, right? They've done a lot of improvements to it. You can add you have a timeline now where you can add multiple clips to the timeline. But for me, a lot of times, because I'm in DaVinci Resolve, speaking of DaVinci Resolve, get the free DaVinci Resolve. That's tip number one. Tip number two, there's a plugin, Carter VR. I think it's K-A-R-T-A, Carter VR. You got to get that plugin, guys. Get DaVinci Resolve. It's free. If you really want to get into some of the more advanced features, it's $300. So you can get the DaVinci Resolve Studio version. That's $300. And what it allows you to do is, once you use that plugin, you get to do some really cool transitions now, or movements, I should say. When you keyframe and you're moving your point of emphasis in a 360 video on a timeline from one thing to another, okay? Because again, you're recording in 360 and you're framing and you're reframing. What Carter VR allows you to do is ramp your movement. In other words, the movement isn't just going to be linear. It's not going to be just an abrupt start and stop. I know in 360 Studio, you can add a bit of a curve to make it a more smooth transition. Well, with Carter VR, you just have more granular control over those transitions. So check out Carter VR, check out DaVinci Resolve. That's my last two, I guess, accessories. I don't want to call them accessories. Let's just call that one a suggestion. Everything else, accessories, my last two suggestions. So anyway, guys, if you found any information here useful, be sure to let me know by leaving a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. And if you really want to be helpful, also hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate that. And while I'm talking about subscribes, I just hit 3,000 subs. I really appreciate all 3,000 of you hitting that subscribe button. Guys, thank you more than you ever know. I really appreciate it. I'm well on my way to Jeff Bezos status, thanks to all 3,000 of you. But like I said, everything here, I'm going to leave links in the description. Just about everything here is from Amazon. I am an Amazon associate, so I do get a little something back. And while I'm covering sponsorships, I'm not sponsored. None of this stuff is sponsored. As much PGYTECH and Insta360 stuff I have, you would think that I'm sponsored. I am not. Falcam, nope, no sponsor. Just really like anything I put out here, it's because I use it a lot. I found that it's actually helpful, and I found that the item is actually of quality. That's why I purchased it. That's why I use it. That's why I would suggest it to you guys, because I'm actually using it all the time. So that being said, thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one. Between now and then, I hope you guys take care and be safe. Peace.